Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. My dear Lord, you are glorified by the selected verses uttered by great personalities. Such glorification of your lotus feet is just like saffron particles. When the transcendental vibration from the mouths of great devotees carries the aroma of the saffron dust of your lotus feet, the forgetful living entity gradually remembers his eternal relationship with you. Devotees thus gradually come to the right conclusion about the value of life. My dear Lord, I therefore do not need any other benediction but the opportunity to hear from the mouth of your pure devotees. Purport. It is explained in the previous verse that one has to hear glorifications of the Lord from the mouth of a pure devotee. This is further explained here. The transcendental vibration from the mouth of a pure devotee is so powerful that it can revive the living entity's memory of his eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In our material existence, under the influence of illusory Maya, we have almost forgotten our eternal relationship with the Lord. Exactly like a man sleeping very deeply who forgets his duties. In the Vedas, it is said that every one of us is sleeping under the influence of Maya. We must get up from this slumber and engage in the right service, for thus we can properly utilize the facility of this human form of life. As expressed in a song by Thakur Bhakti Vinod, Lord Chaitanya says, Jiva Jaga, Jiva Jaga. The Lord asked every living entity to get up and engage in devotional service so that his mission in this human form of life may be fulfilled. This awakening voice comes through the mouth of a pure devotee. A pure devotee always engages in the service of the Lord, taking shelter of his lotus feet, and therefore he has direct connection with the saffron mercy particles that are strewn over the lotus feet of the Lord. Although when a pure devotee speaks, the articulation of his voice may resemble the sound of the material sky, the voice is spiritually very powerful because it touches the particles of saffron dust on the lotus feet of the Lord. As soon as a sleeping living entity hears the powerful voice emanating from the mouth of a pure devotee, he immediately remembers his eternal relationship with the Lord, although up until that moment he had forgotten everything. For a conditioned soul, therefore, it's very important to hear from the mouth of a pure devotee who is fully surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord without any material desire, speculative knowledge, or contamination of the modes of material nature. Every one of us is kuyogi because we have engaged in the service of the material world. Forgetting our eternal relationship with the Lord as his eternal loving servants, it's our duty to rise from the kuyoga platform to become suyogis, perfect mystics. The process of hearing from a pure devotee is recommended in all Vedic scriptures, especially by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One may stay in his position of life, it does not matter what it is. But if one hears from the mouth of a pure devotee, he gradually comes to the understanding of his relationship with the Lord and thus engages in his loving service, and his life becomes completely perfect. Therefore, this process of hearing from the mouth of a pure devotee is very important for making progress in the line of spiritual understanding. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare. Sa Uttama Shloka Mahan Mukha Chuto Bhavat Padam Bhoja Sudha Kanani Laha Smritim Punar Vismrita Tattva Vartmanam Koyoginam No Vitarati Alam Varai. Translation again. My dear Lord, you are glorified by the selected verses uttered by great personalities. Such glorification of your lotus feet is just like saffron particles. When the transcendental vibration from the mouths of great devotees carries the aroma of the saffron dust of your lotus feet, the forgetful living entity gradually remembers his eternal relationship with you. Devotees thus gradually come to the right conclusion about the value of life. My dear Lord, I therefore do not need any other benediction but the opportunity to hear from the mouth of your pure devotees. Prithu Maharaj is praying here to Vishnu, who had appeared in the sacrificial arena when he was doing the sacrifices. And here he is referring to Vishnu as Uttama Shloka. There are different words that we can speak about, call Krishna, names we can call Krishna. But in many places in Bhagavatam and Gita, the name that we are using to call him is very much related with the subject. So here Uttama Shloka means one who is glorified by select verses. It can also mean Uttama. Tama means material. Uttama means transcendental. Those he's glorified by transcendental verses, pure, not material. So Uttama Shloka, Mahan Mukhachuto. In the purport it's explained how, this verse is explaining how the pure narrations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the mouth of a devotee can awaken a living entity. In this material world, we are all in a sleeping condition. Many times in Shastra, it compares material life to sleeping, because when we sleep, we forget everything. We forget our identity, we forget our duties, we forget what we like, what we don't. Everything is forgotten. As Prabhupada says, sleeping is a death-like condition. Everything is forgotten, everything is covered. And so, nearby, there could be a robbery happening. That once I had a friend, he was sleeping. Of course, it was not on this continent, some other continent. And he was sleeping, and robbers robbed his whole house while he was sleeping. TV, fridge, which is common in that part of the world. He didn't know. He was somewhere else. He was totally not present. He was sleeping. Also, when you're sleeping, your knowledge is covered. And tomorrow I had to do this, today I have to do that, this is my duty, everything is covered. This is the nature of sleep. And you'll be having a different identity in the sleep, a different identity, different duties in that dream you're having, different duty, different activities. But it's not true, that's not your activity, that's not your identity, that's a dream. So material life is like this. It's a death-like condition. It's compared many times to death. Because at death, this is what happens. So our identity is covered. We have in material life, our actual identity is covered. Our activities are different, or we ignore them. And our duties are neglected. And also another thing is our senses are covered. Senses are covered. It means that in material life, because of Maya, we can't actually perceive anything. Now whatever is going on, this is material and this is in our karma. But actually what is reality? 3/4 of this creation is spiritual. When we're in a material condition, we cannot perceive anything spiritual. We cannot perceive God, we cannot perceive actual knowledge, actually what is going on. Because this world is, what we see is not really what it is. It's not the actual reality. So we cannot see what is happening, because in a material state we are covered. We are covered because of our own doing, but we are covered. So this is material life. We cannot live like this. We cannot live in this state where we are living in a different identity, having different duties than what we should be doing. We should not be. We think, oh, my duty is that I must go look for stool in the morning and give it to the baby pig, my baby pig. This is my duty. This is not your duty. But we don't know. We are covered. Or we think my duty is I must build a house for this and that jiva, who appear now as my children. Or I must serve this and that person. What is our duty? We must serve God, but we don't know. We are in a covered condition. We are covered with material energy. So we have wrong duties. We won't say wrong, because now in a conditioned state, at least to remain sane and in sattvic, we are given duties to do which are sattvic but not transcendental. This is a varnashram institution. at least remain pious, at least stay on the human platform, follow an ashram. But actually that's not our duty. That actual duty will be awakened. We are co-yogis, it's explained here. Co-yogi means we are connected to different activities than what we should be. So this is not the reality. We cannot live like this, having different identity, wrong duties, wrong activities, wrong priorities. This is not a way to live. In the same way, like if you see someone sleeping the whole day, we feel pity on him. You come to him, hey, wake up, why are you sleeping? Do something. No, but I'm comfortable. This is not a proper way to live. We'll tell him, why are you sleeping? Get up, do something, go and, cut the grass in the garden, or go to work, or go to college, or do something. You cannot sleep like that. I mean, forget about spiritual life. Even materialists know that. This is not. So we cannot live like this material life. It's not proper. This is illusion. We cannot live in illusion. We will not be happy, and we are not in reality. We are not satisfied. But we'll keep searching for that reality and satisfaction on that material platform. Even though we think, oh, why should I practice spiritual life? But even if we think, I shouldn't do spiritual life, I shouldn't do anything, but actually we will be searching on that material platform in the way of looking for happiness and peace. But you cannot do that because material world is ashashvatam. Everything will change. I'm adjusting material life to suit me now. Then it will change. Something will change. Then adjust again. Adjust again. Just come off the material platform. Come off the material platform. Be satisfied spiritually. Spiritually, if we are satisfied, then nothing can change that, because that is the reality. Material life will always shift, just like this material world, physically speaking, geologically speaking, is always shifting. Tectonic plates, whatever they call it. Once someone told Prabhupada, it's in Life Comes From Life, about the dinosaurs, that so when they say that when we find some fossil, they'll date it. According to the level it is below the earth, we'll date it. Is it in this period? What are the periods? Mesozoic, Paleozoic, like that. They have different ages. Dinosaur age is a certain age. Then Prabhupada said, yeah, but the land is always shifting. You say, okay, it is on this layer. Then there's an earthquake or some shifting of... Everything is shifting. Practically speaking, this world is always shifting. Materially speaking, physically, politically, socially. It doesn't make sense to find a balance materially because it will not stay. So that is not the way. Our reality, we have to come to our reality. And how can we wake up? How can we wake up to the reality? If I know, okay, we're in a sleeping condition, I'm in a material state. Can you check what's going on? So now, how can we wake up? First of all, we have to realize what is our reality. Reality is not on this platform of material life. But to understand what is reality, here in Srimad Bhagavatam it's explained that I'm in a sleeping condition, I'm in a material state. So, how do I awaken from that state? The way to awaken, it says here, of course we have to connect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord asks every sleeping entity to get up and engage in devotional service so that his mission in this human form of life may be fulfilled. This awakening voice comes to the mouth of a pure devotee. The pure devotee delivers Krishna. And when the pure devotee delivers Krishna, that awakens us from our state, our current state of sleeping. So it's required for the jiva to awaken through hearing pure narrations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead through a pure devotee. Because a pure devotee doesn't cover anything. If someone is speaking, but he has his own desire, then something is coming out. But a pure devotee is used as a medium for Krishna's communication because he has no other desire, his own desire. His desire is to propagate Krishna's desire. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita it's explained that Jitatma Prashantasya Paramatma Samahitaha Shitoshna Sukha Dukheshu Tata Mana Pamana Yoho. That the living entity Jitatma prashantasya. When he conquers his senses, his desires, jita prashantasya, he becomes peaceful. That is the first thing. Because I'm having so many desires, I'm disturbed. Paramatma samahitaha. Then he comes to the Paramatma. Paramatma samahitaha. That means he establishes a connection with the Paramatma. Paramatma is Krishna. Krishna will then use him to propagate his message. So a pure devotee, when he speaks about Krishna, this is very powerful. Because what we need, we will get that message. And what is our medicine? He'll propagate, he'll give it. Because Krishna will communicate through the pure devotee. So, how do we wake up? Here it's given that this awakening voice of Krishna comes through the mouth of a pure devotee. So Prithu Maharaj is praying here that I do not need any other benediction but the opportunity to hear from the mouth of your pure devotee. This is my only benediction. This is the greatest benediction. So now this verse explains what is the nature of that voice of a pure devotee who's speaking. Because it says here that the pure devotee is situated at Krishna's lotus feet. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Krishna Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale. Then the second one, Namaste Saras. No, not that. Yeah, the first one. So, yeah, Vishnu Padaya. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya. So this pranamantra of Srila Prabhupada is Vishnu Padaya, situated at the lotus feet of Vishnu. A pure devotee is situated at the lotus feet of Vishnu. We may think, no, he's here. I am seeing him. Physically he's here. But he's situated at the lotus feet of Vishnu. Because he is pure, so because he's pure, his desires are not coming in the message. He's just broadcasting whatever Krishna is saying. And so Krishna uses him to give the message. So Srila Prabhupada is Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, situated at the feet of Vishnu. And therefore very dear to Krishna Prashtaya, very dear to him. Krishna, Vishnu, same thing. So situated at the lotus feet of Krishna and very dear to Krishna. Because Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale. He is situated at the lotus feet of Vishnu, he is serving and he is very close to Vishnu. So now this has the potency to awaken other people. When they are situated there and then they speak about Krishna, what happens? Here Bhagavatam has this facility of propagating absolute truth in perfect philosophy and perfect poetry. So it's saying here that, my dear Lord, you are glorified by the selected verses uttered by great personalities. Such glorification of your lotus feet is just like saffron dust particles. When the transcendental vibration of the mouths of the great devotees carries the aroma of the saffron dust from your lotus feet, the forgetful living entity gradually remembers his eternal relationship with you. So he is situated at the lotus feet of Vishnu, and when he is speaking, he is broadcasting the saffron dust particles by his speech. And then those saffron dust particles enter into the ear, everyone. Then, kuyoginam, it says here, smritim punar vismritim tattva vartmanam. Vismriti means forgetting. Smritim punar. He again remembers what he forgot. He remembers his identity. Like someone is sleeping. When we wake him up, when he wakes up, what happens? He remembers, oh, this is my name. This is my activity. These are my duties. This is my real responsibility. He remembers everything when he wakes up. And so when we see someone sleeping, we feel, okay, you have to wake up. Don't you have something to do? Are you forgetting something? Because I'm seeing you sleeping so long. Maybe you forgot something. You're meant to do something. And yes, I had to do something. Yes. So now we are in that sleeping condition. When we hear this message, we awaken. This is our reality. This is our real duty. This is our identity. This is the function. So this is the powerful way how we can effect this change. Why do we say Bhagavad Gita is personally spoken by Krishna? But Bhagavatam is spoken mostly by his devotees. It's greater. Potency of a pure devotee is greater than Vishnu. By his mercy, Bhagavatam, the pure devotees are speaking, but it's Krishna's message. It's the same message. The messages of Sri Guru are not of this material world. They're beyond this material world. They're broadcasting Vaikuntha. They're broadcasting that Krishna's glories, Krishna's lotus feet through their words. So it's a great benediction. When somebody awakens, they feel, when someone awakens, they feel happy, they feel alive, they feel conscious. Awake means awake to spiritual life, awake to our duty. Then they realize, that was not me, this is me. That who I thought I was, that is not me. Practically, when we come to spiritual life, we are not the same person. That is understood. It is mentioned even in Hari Bhakti Vilas. Yatha kanchanantam yati kangsya rasa vidhanataha tata diksha vidhanena dvijatam jayate nirnam. That just like bell metal and mercury, you can make gold. It changes, the nature of the metal changes when you combine bell metal and mercury to form gold. So similarly, through the process of diksha, which means we take a spiritual master, guru, and we hear his vani, his words, and follow him, that changes our nature. We are not the same person. And we have that perception that I am in spiritual life, I am not the same person. I was 5 years ago someone else. So we change, we become more alive, and we see people who are external, seeing that person, he's changed. He's bright, he's peaceful, he's calm, and his priorities are different. His nature is different. So we are alive, we are fully conscious, and most of all, we are grateful. That gratefulness comes. That I experienced this knowledge and I got this awakening. So deep gratefulness comes to the messenger and to the sender of the message, to Srila Prabhupada and to Krishna. We're grateful that Prabhupada brought this knowledge, pure devotee brought it. So we're grateful, Krishna, I woke up, but it's not Krishna, Krishna will woke us, but it's a pure devotee who came all the way to wake us up. So that gratefulness is there. So now, what do? I woke up, morning, I get up, I'm awake, everyone is sleeping. What do? Let them sleep. We wake up everyone. Wake up, start your duty. Materially, spiritually. In a proper house, in a Vedic culture, what would happen? Especially the cooks, normally, Matajis, they'll wake up early, start cooking, preparing, then they'll gradually wake up, the kids wake up, everyone wakes up, and then the whole activity starts. Okay, and maybe not now, everyone sleeps till a certain, whole morning. But they'll wake up, and so I'm awake. What do? Wake others up. Others are suffering. They're not in spiritual life. They don't know their duties. They're in a death-like condition, material life, death-like condition. So how do we do that? I'm awake. We have to give the message to them. I got the message. I read Prabhupada's Vani. I got Krishna's mercy through the pure devotee. Pass it on. We have to pass it on. Why should others sleep? And how can I sleep peacefully at night knowing, okay, I'm in spiritual life, these other people are suffering. They're struggling hard. What for? For nothing. To accumulate some papers like this. But of course it's written 100, 200,000 rupees. And they go mad after that paper. And so they're working hard for that. And I'm thinking, yeah, but they'll die, and then what will happen then? What is their destiny? And okay, forget about death, but now in this material life, this is not a life. To struggle hard materially and not have connection with Krishna in our spiritual life, to live on a material platform, this is not life. So, the greatest potency in this material world, greater than God, is the Vani of a pure devotee, greater than God. Because, why? Because God, of course Krishna is supreme, but he will not give his greatness. The devotee gives it. And when devotee gives, he doesn't have that discrimination. Who am I giving to? Should I give it to him? Anyone and everyone. So the devotee can deliver us. Okay, and we got delivered by reading this Vani of Srila Prabhupada. So, it has to be propagated. if we simply give oral reception to Prabhupada, and we say here about giving oral reception, that means hearing, practical, I mean, we are reading, but this reading is Prabhupada's Vani recorded on this dictaphone and then written down. This is Prabhupada's voice. And Prabhupada wanted his voice to be spread all over the world, because he, being a pure devotee, understanding Krishna, he is humble also. But Prabhupada knew that if we simply propagate his books, that alone can wake up this material civilization. We don't have to engage in other activities, you know, save the soil, save the whales, save the stray dogs. No, the problem is that people forgot their identity. Now they're doing all kinds of nonsense. In a dream, what happens? What do we do? Nothing sensible. It's a dream. We don't know what we have to do. We go. It's basically, dream is a manifestation of our desires in our mind. Same with material life. Whatever is our desire, we are acting to do it. But that should not be. The devotee has to wake up through the Vani of the pure devotee. In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Koi, Lava Mata Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Simply by even a lover, 1/12 of a second, what's a lover? 1/10 of a second. If you associate with the pure devotee, all perfection can come. He will speak, of course, as sadhu talks, he'll talk about Krishna. That voice will come, he'll broadcast, and that one particle of saffron from Krishna's lotus feet will enter our ear in that 1 second or half second. Then he'll go, but that will have effect. You know, just like at the time of Corona, what happened? One tiny Corona came. And when people got sick, they were thinking, that Corona will stick here, one particle will be there, I'll touch my hand, then I'll touch something, then it'll jump, I'll inhale it, one little Corona spore. So, infection can come from a pure devotee, from very less association. He'll speak something, at that second that will enter and just destroy our material conception. So that's one thing. We woke up. What to do? I woke up. Now wake others up. We have to wake others up. That is the proper thing to do. It's not a choice. It's a duty. It's our duty. If we are seeing that around people are suffering, I got this knowledge. I'm relishing. I'm advancing. Okay, what about everyone else? What about others? It's a duty. It's not actually a option, interest, hobby. It's a duty. ISKCON is a movement for propagating Krishna. Okay, Krishna's message is there, but now it's come through Srila Prabhupada, and so that message has become so much more powerful, because Krishna is, in one word, I mean, how can you explain Krishna? It's a spiritual, he's a spiritual personality. His form, qualities, his holy name, everything is spiritual. How can we bring it to this platform and tell people? I know the knowledge, I'm here, I want to tell someone. It's very hard. But a pure devotee who fully realized Krishna, he is able to give it. He is able to give. Because he realized Krishna, he can propagate this knowledge. So, it is the duty of the pure devotee to do that. And duty of others who benefited from that to propagate this Vani. He should propagate. Prabhupada's words are carrying Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada, we should not underestimate. We should just see that one personality, how he effected a change, a revolution. We're not saying revolution happened. It's happening now also. Happen means it happened. In a normal revolution, you know, you have the revolution in Russia, in France, the French Revolution happened, it's gone, and the leaders are not there. Russian Revolution happened in, you know, Chinese, something like that happened in Cuba. Okay, but now revolution here is happening. Why? Because Prabhupada did not go. His books are there. Prabhupada's voice is here. And so now the pure devotees who are hearing, people who are hearing the pure devotee sound, vibration through these books, they get it, they benefit, they give someone and they get it. And this is a ingenious way that Srila Prabhupada thought up, that just by him putting these books into writing and us propagating these books, a revolution can come. We can wake everyone up. This is a preaching movement. We see in Prabhupada's time, devotees joined. As soon as they joined, okay, go on Harinam. Before they didn't have books. They went on Harinam. New devotees went on Harinam. I took Krishna consciousness, I got it. Now what do I do? Now do book distribution, now preach. That is what we do. What else will we do? This is what we have to do. ISKCON devotee is meant to preach. And this is not only us. Just go back in our parampara. Srila Prabhupada's guru, same thing. He organized mutts, he organized devotees to preach and propagate so widely. Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he devised different means of preaching. He engaged his whole life in preaching, and his work was just a side, like some small activity, which he compartmentalized in a short time. Otherwise, in his free time, he preached, he wrote books, he personally brought people to Krishna consciousness. And then previous to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, of course our parampara is very long. But Srinivas Acharya, he propagated the movement. Narottam Das Thakur wrote many songs, personally preached, established deities. Shyamananda Pandit in Orissa, he changed Orissa to Vaishnavism. Practically speaking, the whole of North Orissa is still today, I don't know much about that, but I understand that he brought Vaishnavism back in such a powerful way that now whatever Orissa is, Shyamananda and his followers through Rasikananda, he preached. Actually, Srinivas Acharya also distributed books. Jiva Goswami gave him books. So Narottam Das Thakur, Srinivas Acharya were, and maybe Shyamananda, I can't remember. They were going and distributing books, and the books were stolen. Then they got them back, and they were writing the scores. So this is not a new thing. This is, as one ISKCON devotee said, this is our family business. What happens in a family business? A child is brought up, everyone is selling cloth. And they sell cloth, they know how to do it, they know the best way to do it, they know who will take the most cloth, at which time of year it's the best time to sell. So they'll do, then the child is born, what will he do? This is the business, you have to learn that. And from young age he learns that. From beginning, if you can walk, you can talk, okay, start, get in the shop and start. Whatever the business is, they'll start that. So in this way, they come to the family business. What was the business? So in ISKCON, now I can chant, I can read. What do? Give out the books. Or bring people to Krishna consciousness. This is the main thing. We see in the back of the parampara, this was the main thing. Even now it's the main thing. Propagating the knowledge. This is a movement meant for preaching. So in other sampradayas, they'll spend hours in Arichan and hours in other activities. That's their sampradaya. That's what they do. In this movement, practically we went to have a morning class, evening class, and people, it's a temple environment, people walk in and hear. Now we have YouTube, so they'll hear. So in this movement, the main guru is Srila Prabhupada. He's the Shiksha Guru of everyone, the main personality. And then even the Diksha Guru, he takes on the mood of Srila Prabhupada. He takes his mood, he takes his teachings. He's, you can say, a manifestation of Prabhupada coming. But we have to take a Diksha Guru. Because as Prabhupada said, someone is needed to catch your ear when you do something wrong. Not that I'll take a guru, I'll take Prabhupada as my guru, then I can do nonsense, no one is saying anything. But the guru will come and chastise you. And that fear should be there. Oh Guru, what will he say if I do that? So the Diksha Guru is representing Prabhupada and is speaking Prabhupada Vani. So Prabhupada Vani, ISKCON is based on his Vani and propagation of his Vani. Book distribution, and as Prabhupada said, even GBC, temple president, management, everything in ISKCON is geared towards distribution of books. Devotees would come from a program. Prabhupada, we had a big program, so many people came and this and that, and Prabhupada would interrupt. And how many books went? And that's how he'll measure. That's how he'll measure that this was success or not. When people hear Prabhupada, hear means read also, we can experience the change they go through. Practically, it's like a miracle every day when they, when we go on book distribution. We see people. I remember that we distribute books, then when we came back, we see the person, he's different. And we could understand when we meet him again, because 2-3 times we distributed in a large area, and we remember the house. We remember the house and the person. So when the person comes, he starts talking. At that time, we can understand that he read the book or not. By the way he sees us and receives us, we can see. So when he comes, and if he comes in a favorable way and happy, if he comes in a favorable way and so happy, we can understand he read the book, he became joyful seeing us. So we can tell the difference. Potency is there. Awakening voice comes to the mouth of a pure devotee. How to awaken this world? Book distribution. Therefore, like in this center, in every center, book distribution every single day, 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever we can do. Some cannot do every day, every week. And it's not a normal thing. Some people see it as business, or it is not. It's a transcendental activity. As Prabhupada said, book distribution is in the mood of the gopis. The gopis' idea was, I am not pure. These people are pure. Let them come and serve you. Let's bring everyone to come and serve Radha Krishna. That was the gopis' mood. So the devotees' mood is everyone should be, I'm serving Krishna, but everyone should be serving. Why isn't this whole road everyone serving? That is the mood. Therefore, if the powerful force for change and revolution, there is no other thing needed. Nothing else is needed. This one activity will change everything. As I heard from His Holiness Dhanavit Maharaj once in a lecture, at that time there was, that was quite few years ago, many years ago, and there was a big talk of cow protection and all, which is very important. But he said, Dhanavit Maharaj said, actually the biggest way to change people and to stop cow killing is by distributing Prabhupada's books. The best way to overcome a corrupt government and a bad system of government, distributing of books. The best way to stop crime, to stop any problem, this is the way. And so therefore Prabhupada organized every day, daily distribution of books, which as I mentioned here we do, and everywhere else. In every ISKCON temple, it was supposed to be the main activity. So bringing books, distributing the books, actually should be a daily affair. And if everyone in ISKCON did it daily, then I know some people who go to work every day. He takes, one devotee in Delhi, he'll take one book and 5 small books, one Bhagavad Gita and 5 small books. And he must distribute it every day on the way to work. He'll ride in a metro, then a bus, and he'll speak to someone next to him. Then he'll write on the group that, okay, I gave this is the person. And actually he was looking for Gita. He's doing this for years. So, okay, we have this marathon coming now in December. That's once in a year. But if we can integrate it into our life and do it daily and make a set target, this will be very good. Culture, the culture has to come in, a book distribution. Recently I traveled, where did I go? Oh, Delhi. But was I coming or going? Going, yes. So when I was going, I took 3, I always carry some small books. So as I came out of security, going towards the boarding gate, there were some chairs. I just sat, but while I was walking from security, one person came, he saw me very happy. Hare Krishna. I said, Hare Krishna. What to do? Okay, he is walking, so I'm walking, I walked on. Then I sat down, started chanting. And after some time, that person comes, Hare Krishna, he sat down. Very nice. So where are you from? And he was so happy. Oh, I was in ISKCON, I was Pune, and they were preaching to me and this and that. Now I'm working. Good. Are you practicing? No. Oh, why not? You should practice. You should chant. Okay, all right. You're talking. Then I thought, okay, I'm talking, as Prabhupada said. Now, talking is one thing and speaking. But you have to give a book because the book is solid. As Prabhupada said, what will your 2 minutes preaching do? He'll forget everything. But if he takes the book, then he'll read, he'll keep it, memory stays. So, after some time, I just said, okay, now time has come. He said, I have to go also. And so, look, I told him, here, and I thought, okay, why to take money? Just take a book. Oh, why shall I give? Give whatever you want. What book is this? Hare Krishna Challenge. Oh, immediately some feeling came. This was my first book. I read it. Oh, so much change came. And his face changed. Oh, those days were so good. He kept speaking. I said, oh, why did you leave it? Now read it again and come back. Yes, I will. Okay. How much? Whatever you want. And he gives 500, a small book. So then I thought, okay, this was his first book. He was in ISKCON and he somehow disconnected, completely disconnected, not inimically, just, no one was there telling him, read a book, chant. So, and it turned out, the book that I gave was the one that he read first and he got so excited. Then as usual in book distribution, we said this is not some normal event, that how many flights are there and which one he had to take, I take, and we met, and which books I could carry, and I was carrying 3 books. Out of those 3, I picked those one particular and gave him. Then I can understand that actually it's not on a material platform. When we are distributing books, it's not a material platform. If someone is pure without desire, his own, desire for, okay, name, fame, this, increasing score and this. But if the desire is to propagate the message, then so many, I don't do much, but the people, you are going out every day, you'll meet situations when you can realize this is planned thing. So in this way, we can understand that if everyone carried books wherever they went and integrate it into their culture and their day and their work, then what can happen in this world? As one quote, I remember of Prabhupada, he said that if you only understood my message, we can take this whole world in 2 weeks. I'm looking for that quote. Have you heard of that? I read it. One Maharaj sent it once. He said, if you only understood my message, we can take the whole world in 2 weeks. We're not understanding. But message, for example, is if every single person and center distributed books every day, very fast, everything will be finished. This materialistic civilization. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any question? Comment? Srila Prabhupada book distribution ki jai. Hare Krishna.